birthday, reading erotic fanfiction. So my little story. I was really surprised to find out that there isn't any fan fiction written about the Grudge. If you guys know the horror story, The Grudge, I have a reference photo for you if you don't know. She's just really hot. Like, she's just so flexible. I don't know, when I watched the film when I was like, I don't know, 6, I was like, she's hot. So I decided to write my own. Anyway, hi Mom and Dad. I invited them, as you do. I'm gonna begin now. The Hendersons. Do over. Okay. Now I can. The Hendersons had just moved into their new home. Even though they were strongly advised against buying the house in the first place by multiple people. Their realtor, neighbors-to-be, and little children all warned them against it. On the way over for their first showing of the house, a woman threw herself in front of the car and used her last dying breath to say, "Don't go near the house at the end of the street. You will be sorry." And when they signed the papers for the house, it started to rain dead birds. But despite all of that, the Hendersons bought and were living in the house because the house was just what they were looking for. It had like 6 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a newly done kitchen, and lots of space, a pool in the backyard, and good real estate is just so hard to come by nowadays. It was their 4th night living in the house, and they were leaving their 17-year-old son Jimmy home alone again to go to their late night ballroom dance class that Mrs. Henderson decided to sign them up for because you're never too old to try something new. "I don't see why I need dance class. Check these moves out," said Mr. Henderson as he flailed his limbs and did a sloppy twirl ending in 2, like one of these. Mrs. Henderson was into it. So they told their son that they were off to class. They went to a hotel instead and got it on all night long. When I wrote that, I was like, good for them. But still having at it at their age. But I'm still keeping romance alive. Like, I wrote it. Jimmy was left all alone in the big house, so he started to prepare for his date with his new girlfriend. He lit candles, made dinner, set up a very romantic table for 2. He even prepared a romantic bubble bath for them. Suddenly, he heard a noise that sounded like someone breathing out of a broken neck, like this. Jimmy was placing a bouquet of roses on the dinner table when he looked up to see black hair pooling from the left corner of the ceiling. "She's here," Jimmy thought excitedly. You see, for the past few nights, Jimmy had been visited by Kyoku. That's her real name, I looked it up. A Japanese ghost cursed by Juan. A curse that occurs when a person dies with deep, powerful rage. He first met Kyoku when he was playing World of Warcraft in his room, and she crawled out of his TV. Jimmy just sat there amazed that there was an actual girl in his room. He tried to get a photo with her so he could show his mates at school that there was an actual girl in his room. But when he took the photo, her image wouldn't appear in the camera because she's dead. Jimmy wasn't used to this kind of attention from girls. He usually got ignored by every girl in his high school. So he was extremely flattered when Keioku decided to haunt him. And ever since that night, Jimmy had been laying down the groundwork with Keioku. He complimented her pale gray skin and long black hair. He listened to her complain about her last relationship and how he murdered her. So on and so forth. And tonight was the night that Jimmy would finally lose his virginity. Hey, Jimmy said, trying to look cool as he leaned his hand on the table, but he slipped, so he just tripped and looked like a dork. Keioku crawled down from the ceiling, and that was her head was hanging low, and her dead eyes were just staring directly at him. Keioku's mouth was stretched open, releasing a death rattle. So like this. Oh, I see. You want to skip dinner. Jimmy said. This is it, Jimmy thought to himself. She's totally giving me the look. Keiko was still in this position and she hadn't blinked once. So, do you want to do it here? Jimmy asked nervously. Or we could go to my room. Okay, so here it is, I guess. Jimmy said as he took off his shirt, revealing his untoned, pasty white body as he joined her on the table. Keioku's bony hands reached for Jimmy's neck. Oh, wow. Your hands are really cold. Perhaps I could warm you up. Jimmy said as he thought to himself, smooth. Keioku twisted her body, cracking her broken spine as she turned her head all the way around, positioning herself in an inhuman way. Wow, you're so flexible, Jimmy said. It was then that Jimmy worked up to courage to just be a man and go for it with Keioku. So, they started having the sex, doing all the positions, and positions you could only do if your partner was a Japanese cursed ghost. Positions like the broken rib cage shattered spine move, which is very similar to missionary, except your partner or you has a broken spine and a broken rib cage. The lick the knife move and use your severed tongue just to lick their body one. Ooh, right? And just the violent vomiting into your face as your head spins around. That one's the favorite. Bumped and grinded all over the walls and ceiling. And at one point, we're just having sex in midair. Keiko the whole time was just trying to suck Jimmy's soul from his body, but Jimmy was too busy having sex to notice. So weird. When they were finished, Jimmy was in tears, partly because it was his first time and he was happy, and partly because Keioku had been choking him the whole time. Wow, that was amazing. Jimmy said, lying on the ceiling next to Keoku. It is still up there. I'm glad you liked it too. Just then, the doors opened, and Jimmy's parents walked in to see Jimmy and Keoku on the ceiling. "What's going on here?" Mrs. Henderson said in shock. "What's going on here, Mom, is that I'm in love with a Japanese rage-cursed ghost, and she's in love with me, and I want to spend the rest of my life, and I guess the rest of her undead life, with her, and it's just as simple as that, Mom. It's as simple as that." "Honey, come down from the ceiling right now." Jimmy dropped from the ceiling and landed hard on the kitchen table, breaking it in half. "Gosh darn it, we just bought that," Mr. Henderson said disappointedly. "Hun, look, there are going to be other girls that like who you are, girls who are alive," Miss Henderson said, as Jimmy stumbled to his feet. "None like Keoku, Mom. Keoku gets me." "Well, I'm sorry, but we're just not living in a house haunted by a Japanese rage-cursed ghost. It's just no way." "Well," Miss Henderson said. "How could you do this to me, Mom?" Jimmy yelled. Just then, a little boy ghost came from the corner and joined Keoku on the ceiling. Who's this?" Jimmy said. "Looks like her son," Mr. Henderson said. "Oh, you never told me you had a kid." "You let that one slip by. You told me about your husband killing you, but not the kid." "Hey, Mom, you know what? You're right. We should move."